Howdy, folks. It's me, Brianna, again.
And it's me, Amber.
I'm just kidding, folks. I won't do the voice. But Amber wanted to be a ladies' night today, so we're going to do a ladies' night. So let's get started. Alright, folks. Our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for kicking my son, his girlfriend, and my grandson out of my house? I'm a 63-year-old female, and my husband, a 67-year-old male, ran into some issues with my son last year. During the pandemic, his girlfriend got pregnant. He moved her in with his roommates who were not happy about that. The roommates left and they resigned with the landlord just themselves, but his girlfriend couldn't and wouldn't find a job, and he lost his job a few months later and they couldn't afford to pay rent. They stayed for 7 months and then got evicted. Next, they have an eviction on their record and terrible credit because they lived off of credit cards, so they have thousands in credit card debt. I didn't want them moving in. My son, a 38-year-old male, lived at home until he was 31, so we had a lot of trouble getting him out of the house. But his girlfriend was giving birth soon, so we took him in. They stayed for almost a year, and the deal was that they would both get jobs, they would help pay for utilities, and then they would pay off their credit cards and find a place to live. They were supposed to be only staying for 6 months, but they wouldn't move out when we asked them to move out at the end of 6 months. They said because of the eviction on their record that no one would rent to them. They also didn't make enough money to pay utilities, so my husband and I paid more in utilities, and they ate for free as well since they would just take from the fridge and wouldn't buy any groceries themselves. We offered to help them with baby expenses, diapers, car seats, etc. But first, it's been almost a year and we're still paying for it. They were doing DoorDash, but not working more than 3 or 4 hours a day. I kept trying to get my son to get a full-time job, but he just got angry and accused me of nagging him. His girlfriend also is very messy and doesn't clean up after herself. I've changed more diapers and fed her son more than she has, and it's infuriating because they chose to have a child but won't take responsibility. My husband and I have been retired for 2 years now, and we had planned to move to Chile, where I am from. We were supposed to sell the house last year and didn't, just to let them stay, but it's now been over a year and we're sick of it. We kept telling them that they had to move out, and they just ignored us, so we put our house up for sale. We had wanted to renovate it first, but they wouldn't let us into the bathroom or the bedroom, so we just decided to sell it as is. We got a fair offer and closed in a week and told them that they had 2 months to move. My son yelled at us for kicking them out and not caring about him and shattered our decorative vase that we had. They finally moved out and are in between places and will be going to Chile next month. But my son and his girlfriend have nowhere to go. They are staying with friends right now, but they are only letting them stay until the end of the month, and then they will have to figure it out. My son yells at me over the phone and tells me that I'm never allowed to see my grandson again for kicking us out. I don't know where I went wrong, that he could be an adult and get a job and move out without being forced. Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. I think you gave them ample opportunities and they've just been taking advantage of your kindness every step of the way.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really hard situation because they really have been taking advantage here, and it's really unfair to OP and her husband because basically they've been living there for free and they haven't done anything at all.
Well, and racking up expenses too.
Yeah. So the deal was that they were going to move in and pay off their credit cards and they were going to find a place to live, and you had given them 6 months and they just didn't execute on that. So no, OP, you're not the jerk. You are holding to your agreement and there's nothing that's wrong with that. Like, they'll figure it out eventually, but they're clearly taking advantage of you and your kindness and your husband's kindness. So
yeah, well, and as long as you have a place for them to stay, like, there's no incentive for them to move out. Like, I think this was basically the only thing you could do to get them out of your house.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just seems like this was it. You couldn't do anything else. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright, folks, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for not wanting to learn sign language for my son's fiance? My son Ricky, a 21-year-old male, and his boyfriend Trevor, a 20-year-old male, have been together since they were 15. Trevor is deaf and was a drummer for Ricky's band before they started dating. Ricky really wanted me to learn sign language when they first met, especially after they started dating. Thing is, Ricky lived with his dad most of the time, and I originally thought that it was just a teenage fling, so I didn't really have Trevor over a lot. I didn't see Trevor a lot because I'm constantly going places and work, and I still do. Ricky's still mad at me that I won't take the time to learn, even though I mostly talk to them over chat or video calls where we can send messages or Ricky can interpret. Trevor in all this time hasn't seemed bothered by it, so I just didn't think it was worth it. They got engaged a few months ago, and now Ricky is really pushing me to learn sign language. We were talking about it over chat yesterday, and he told me that I was being selfish and unaccommodating to Trevor, and he confided in me that Trevor has always thought that I didn't like him or have a problem with deaf people because I wouldn't even make an effort and never spent much time with him. Am I the jerk here? All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Yeah, I think you're the jerk. OP, there's someone in your family who cannot communicate in the same way that you can, and you are being unaccommodating. Like, I know it's a pain to have to learn new skills, but I'm sure he would understand if it's, as long as you're making progress, that's the thing that matters. It's not like you have to learn the entire language overnight.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is a matter of he wanted to see, he was telling you something was important to him. And he was expressing that this is something that he really wanted you to do and would really appreciate you to do this for him. But you just ignored it at every turn. So he really ignored him and did not take him seriously with his request. And I feel like he's probably really hurt about that. And it shows that you really aren't interested in taking the time to learn to communicate with Trevor in a way that is accommodating for him.
Yeah, well, you undervalued both the relationship, and Trevor, showed that he doesn't matter to you. And what is the worst case scenario here? Like, okay, they break up sometime down the line. You've learned a new life skill. Like, that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. You've learned a new life skill. Now you can actually use sign language and talk to other people. And I don't think that that's there are no downsides here, right? So I think that this is kind of silly that OP is like, oh, I'll waste my time learning sign language. It's not a waste of time. Anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to pay for half of my partner's termination fee? I'm a 25-year-old female and I own my own house, not outright. I have a mortgage. My partner, a 27-year-old male, has been renting his current property for nearly 2 years with a 2-year fixed tenancy agreement. We have been together for 3 years. He recently has been making little comments about having money issues. Nothing direct, but I felt like he was definitely hinting at moving in. For example, he said that though he isn't struggling to pay rent or the rest of his bills, he's unable to indulge in his hobbies. As we've been together for a while, it felt like the natural next step, and it felt like that's what he was hinting at. I suggested that he move in with me. We agreed that he isn't gaining any equity in my house, he won't contribute to the mortgage, but he will split all the utilities with me equally. So we'll be saving quite a lot of money monthly. Now, the letting agency has told him that he has to pay an early termination fee as he will be leaving his tenancy 3 months early. The fee is around £600. He asked me to pay half of it today and blew up at me when I said no. My reasoning is that he'll be saving money in the long run by moving in with me anyways. I'm covering the cost of my property, so he should be covering the cost of his. I don't see this as a joint bill. He thinks that I'm the jerk. I asked him to move in, so I'm the reason that he's leaving his tenancy early anyways, so I should be responsible for half of it. When I told him that he could stay at his place and move in with me when his tenancy is over, and therefore would not be required to pay the fee, he got even angrier and said that I was showing my true colors and didn't actually want him to move in with me or have equal partnership. Unsure if it's important, but for clarification, he has enough in his savings account to cover the whole fee. I have about double what's in his savings. He is aware of this, as I've loaned him money from my savings before. I don't think that I'm the jerk, but if I'm being honest, he certainly does, so I thought that I would get some other opinions. Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. You are helping him out, and he's over here trying to nickel and dime you.
Yeah, I mean, this is so ridiculous because he literally is going to be saving money the moment he moves out. He's not even paying rent here. So the fact that he's like, oh, you invited me over to live with you, so you should pay half of my tenancy termination fee is just absolutely ridiculous.
Right, it's not like you dragged him out. Oh, you cannot live in your place anymore. You are moving in. And he was like dropping those hints, like, which that's not the best communication style anyway.
Well, my theory is that he arranged this so that OP would ask, and then he could play this whole, oh, but you want me to move in with you, so you're going to have to pay my termination fee. So this really seems very shady. Just be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll pay for half of your termination fee, but you have to start paying rent, and we're going to sign up draft up a renter's agreement here.
Yeah, like this, I have some serious concerns for your financial future, OP.
Yeah.
Like I would think very seriously before moving him in about the state of your relationship, particularly in regards to finances and how things are going to be handled from here on out, because it seems like he may just be trying to make a buck off of you, basically.
That's what I'm really worried about here. He seems like he's just interested in the money, and he's flipping the script on you to be like, oh, you're just interested in money, when it's really him who's the one who's asking for money, for one, and two, he's the one who wants to move in with you, and this is just ridiculous. It just seems so absurd. He's saving so much money, and he's not even grateful for it. He's just like, you should pay me more money. So yeah, I don't think you're the jerk, OP. Not at all. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she's got a joke.
What do you call a lazy spud?
What do you call a lazy spud? Well, I'll tell you what you call a lazy spud. Come here. We got some secrets for those lazy spuds. Those spuds, believe it or not, they're planning an uprising. And while they might look like they're lazy, during the daytime, they're just sleeping, they're pretending, they're in their little garden beds just hanging out. But at nighttime, they're busy. They're busy digging. And they're going to dig giant holes, giant tunnels, spud holes, if you will, and they're going to invade our homes. So you know what I call a lazy spud? I call them terrifying.
Well, the book says a lazy spud is a couch potato.
Well, they clearly don't know about the potato's organization skills, do they? Or their overthrow of humanity. And I have Mega Mint. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining me and Amber on this ladies' night.
Happy Friday, Junior.
Happy Friday, Junior. Alright, Amber, and we need some kind of moral guidance, and please provide it to us as if you were a 1930s paper boy, because it's girls' night. 1930s paper girl.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Greedy guy finds himself without a home.
That applies to two.
I know.
Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye.